politics
are the same thing.
are the same thing.
Sexual health is public health.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And you are a sex educator.
I am, and I have a master's of public health.
Okay, wait a minute. I was gonna ask you, like, you gotta agree, because she is smart as fuck. And,
she has
but how does one become a sexual educator?
So that's a little different.
Because I think, remember back in the day, Miss Ruth, Dr. Ruth?
Yes.
That bitch.
Listen, she's still alive.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
We need to play a game of Dead
She's
or
like
Alive.
4 feet tall, and she's still alive. I met her like 2 years ago. She's
Really?
still alive.
I think Dr. Ruth could suck a mean dick.
I don't think Dr. Ruth likes dick.
Oh, say the tea.
That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Okay, well, she's a little manly looking.
I don't think, and she used to be a fucking sniper in the war. So
what? I did not know
Did we
that.
tell you she was smart? She has all these little fun facts for us. Look at that. But introduce yourself. Tell the people who.
Okay. My name is sexologist Goody Howard, MSW, MPH, PhDC.
What was that?
That means that I have a bachelor's of business, a master of social work, a master's of public health, and I'm currently getting a PhD in health education and promotion.
Are you still paying for student loans?
Oh, girl, they're never gonna get that money. Joe Biden, hook a bitch up.
Hello.
No, they're not. I mean, when I told my husband on our anniversary that I was gonna hit my first $1 million before I'm 45, and I just turned 42 3 days ago. So I got 1,093 days left. For this first $1 million. Mm-hmm. If I hit that goal, I'll pay the motherfucking student loans. They can have it.
How do you make $1 million in sexual education?
Oh, being a hustler, baby. So like I said, my bachelor's is in business.
Okay.
So I use that degree every day. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I have a pleasure development business, and I also have professional development.
Do you mind if I pull some of your dicks out?
Go ahead. I don't have many in here.
Let's put some on the table.
Let's put some dicks on the table.
But don't put more than 6, because this is Texas. And
oh my God, the rose!
Ted Cruz is gonna come looking for you.
I've heard about this right here. Did you hear about the rose? Has this been in anyone's vagina?
No, man. Everything in this bag is demo only.
She gonna buy it right now.
Look,
She gonna buy it on the side.
Oh my God!
If you want it, you buy it. I'll bring you one.
What goes in there?
The clitoris, like this. If this is the clit,
then you just stick it like.
And I say
I love this. Pay attention,
you go from
please.
the bottom to the top. Because when you start up here, there's a clitoral hood.
Okay,
So
yeah.
these items in between you and the pleasure.
So you go up, you go up, and okay, and then you press this.
Mm-hmm. No. So here's the buttons.
Oh, so what is it doing to my clit?
I want to know too. Believe me, I'm here to be a good student.
So just put your thumb across the top because it's a gentle suck. You can't be,
Oh, it's
no
sucking.
Oh
my!
And
what is this for?
It goes into the vaginal canal.
That's the best.
Because it's 2 inches in and up for the
I
G-spot.
heard about the rose. Let me see.
This is the regular one.
How much is that over
Baby.
there?
That was $95.
Oh, we doing it here. Can you go to her IG?
Baby, look at this. Okay, go ahead. Talk about your. Talk about your skills.
So that's my educational background. So I have pleasure development and I have professional development. So the pleasure development, of course, I'm a dildo dealer, right? I'm a pleasure professional. I sell sex toys,
I'm
right?
a dildo.
I got a t-shirt that say that too.
I love that.
So I have that, right? And then I do the toy parties, of course, that people book me for that. Right. And I also teach sexual skill building workshops. So I teach oral sex on a penis, oral sex on a vulva, dick riding, it's called rideology. I also teach strokeology, which is for people with penises, and it helps them work on their angle, stroke, and stamina. I teach squirting and orgasm.
You can teach somebody how to squirt?
I can teach them about the biology of it and how to access it with and without a partner, but I don't touch nobody.
Is squirt pee?
Do you touch anyone in any of these workshops?
No, ma'am. No, God. So there are some professionals that do that. Shout out to them. That's just not my ministry. And I feel like I'm a good enough educator that I can give you the tools that you need. Yeah,
to
I don't
be able to access that within myself.
But there, I have all the colors.
She don't stop looking. So, but remember, if Ted Cruz see more than 6 on the table,
it's illegal. It's illegal. More than 6 is illegal.
So just
it's still
5.
Absolutely.
If I got pulled over with this bag,
tell them about the law. Tell them about the law. So
if I got pulled over with this bag, this is possession with intent to distribute.
Exactly. That's why I brought it up, because it's not a joke. It's for real in Texas. You cannot have more than 6 dildos in your house.
I'm pushing weight. I ride that shit every day.
You are
bricks.
And Ted Cruz wrote that bill, by the way, and got that approved.
That's because his dick is dry.
That's what we were saying. We were saying that he probably walked into his wife masturbating with a dildo and got mad because it was obviously bigger than his penis. And he was like, "What you not gonna do is have all these dildos in this house
right here. It's not bigger than him."
You don't know that.
And if it is, he already makes you laugh and you love him. emotionally available.
And he'll take you to Cancun when it's snowing outside, bitch.
Hello. All niggas did like this though.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like this. Okay, here we go. Keep going. Okay. I don't want to put it down.
So that's the pleasure development, right? So I teach those types of workshops. I also teach, that's the hard skills. I also teach soft skills. So I have one called Relationship Goals, and it is about your love, apology, and anger languages. And I've sent
so like love languages, but
your anger language, like the way you express anger, and your apology language, the way you receive the message that someone.
Sorry, not sorry, nigga.
Correct. I'm sorry you felt that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's me.
I mean, whatever you felt.
Oh, I'm sorry that you felt that.
That's where you got.
I know people that say that all the time.
And they wrong
all
as fuck. Loud and wrong. And I'm like, is that what you got? Is that what you're going with?
Ooh.
I could stay home, bitch. This could have been
the best
I'm
you
sorry
could do.
you felt that way.
Ooh. I'm triggered. I'll be like,
Okay, so you teach that.
Yeah.
You teach.
So that, and then I also do sensual intelligence. And so sensual intelligence, it talks about sensual intelligence is experiencing non-sexual pleasure through all 6 of the senses, right? Sight, sound, taste, touch, scent, and feel. Right?
Do you know I have a friend that says when he hears the water going, it gives him a chubby.
It's called a pluviophile.
Ooh.
Say that
A
again.
pluviophile.
Did you go to school
How do you
for that?
spell
Or how did you know that?
That's what I do.
Is that part of your degree?
This is part of what I do. And actually, what's genius about my degrees is that shit ain't got shit to do with shit. Because sex education is social work. Sex education is public health. So every assignment they gave me, I made it about sex.
And I love that because
That's what I'm
So
so
you're a
now,
very sexual person.
Yeah.
So now when I go do my PhD stuff, I'm going to go get my papers that I wrote in my master's degree and cite my motherfucking self in my dissertation.
Oh wow! So when water gives you a chubby, it's called what?
A pluviophile.
Okay,
It's like,
so-
well,
what is your
pluviophile is
pluvia?
rain. Pluvia is Latin for rain or water.
Oh, okay.
So that's the running water.
So I'm sorry, I don't know what a chubby is. Is that an erection?
It's
Okay.
almost. It's not all the way
yeah,
hard.
it's like, ooh, you can
It's
fuck
like,
it. But,
like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. It's like right before you get hard.
Like,
Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
for clarifying. 'Cause I'm not-
Pre-contemplation.
Yeah.
So what is that? I
A
never
chubby.
heard that before.
That's when you get the you up text and you're trying to decide if you up or not.
Oh.
You like,
Okay.
wait, you hear the alert, you go, and your dick be like, wait a minute, let's see who's from first.
What's another non-sexual stimulation that one could have besides running water?
Like different smells, like the olfactory system, right? So a cologne, but
Cologne.
panty
You
droppers,
took the words out my
those panty droppers,
mouth.
the cologne can do it, and a lot of people like the pheromones and things
Yes.
like that. Some people like splooshing, which is playing with food, and so maybe they feel
That's why those people
like
like
having
the-
like splooshing it up, like basically it's the sound sploosh, right? Like putting food all over your body and like
The
fucking with food
swoosh
all
of
over
it.
you. Yeah. And so they smell amazing meal cooking, or they start eating and it's like you got to slurp a noodles up and it's salsa. That shit does it for them.
Does it count like if you want to put chocolate on his dick and suck it? Is that splooshing?
Yes.
Okay.
But if you do that, just make sure that you have like a little sexy soap and water session before you start fucking.
Because you'll get an infection.
You will get all of the infections. Yes.
Had one before.
Yeah. Yeah. If pH be on Leviticus, because I don't give a fuck what kind of Hoover mouth you got. You're not gonna get all of the chocolate because it's gonna mix with the saliva
or
and
ranch
everything else.
dressing or mayonnaise.
So how are you that?
You know,
I'm an eater.
This time
She said,
sometimes I like it sweet, sometimes I like it savory.
yeah, whatever you like.
I'm fun.
But what made you get into this line? What made Goody say, you know what, this is what I want to do? How did we get here?
Well, I've always been the freaky friend.
Hey.
I'm convinced my parents were swingers, although I can't prove it.
Explain that. And what age did you become freaky?
Okay. So I've always been the freaky friend.
And how did you know you was freaky?
That's a great question, and I love the politicization of it.
Yes. Well, she looked at her thinking, and this is
I
the
love
first time
it.
I've seen her pause for a second.
Cause I love the question. It makes my brain happy. Okay.
Ooh.
So I say the freaky friend because it's a phrase that resonates with people that don't do what I do. The question you asked is some shit that people that do what I do would ask. So I love it. I'm excited about it. Because freaky has a negative connotation, specifically with black girls, but in general, right? And so I say freaky friend because I know it resonates with people. If you hear somebody say they do what we do and they say sexpert, we don't say that, but y'all call us that, so that's what we let y'all. We say it because y'all hear it.
Okay.
So when I say freaky friend, I'm playing into the thought process of sexual liberation, and that may be or may not be accompanied by promiscuity, sexual fluidity, and all of that. And I was the person that had the energy that my friends felt open enough to come and ask questions about. My mother is a RN, and so I learned about sex and the I learned about the mechanics of sex, and I learned about the biology of anatomy of sex.
At what age?
2, 3.
And I thought I was doing something.
I never heard my mom say vagina.
Really?
Well, and so they told, I was little. I say vagina because I couldn't say vagina when I was little. But so we learned. When I say learned about sex, I'm saying I learned what my body parts were called.
And what to name it.
Yeah, and when I learned what the private parts that I didn't have were called as well. And I learned that my body was private and all that, because I think when you get to the actual sex education for young children, young meaning like 2, 3, 4, they have to learn those names because they need to be able to tell you if it's itching, if it's burning, if someone's touched it, if it smells funny, if any of those things. But also, when you call to potty train them, right? They have to pay attention to this body part that they never really paid attention to before.
Where's this coming out? Where's this coming out of? Yeah.
So you let them know it's not something that you necessarily want to play with or stick things in, right? But that's when they start to identify it as something that's important and it's theirs.
I wish my mama would have taught me my pee hole and my sex hole was not the same, because I done got a couple bacterial infections because I thought it was.
See, and I wish my parents would have taught me that my body was private, because then maybe I wouldn't have been molested.
Well, no, you can never.
I'm just saying. You know why? Because and the reason
you can't control it, but you can make.
But I didn't know how to.
Right.
Yeah. I just didn't know how to speak upon my body, and never felt private.
I felt ownership. You didn't feel ownership. And that's one thing with, like, when I say pre-K, sex ed is through pre-K, because at the kindergarten and pre-K level, what they're learning is their body parts, autonomy, and boundaries, and how to set boundaries with adults, and how to navigate with adults. Not on some disrespectful shit, because our generation, like, if you're talking back, you're being disrespectful.
Yeah.
Not like that, but like if there's a chart and it says, like, high five, fist bump, handshake, hug, nothing. The child walks up, they point to the way they want to be greeted, and the educator in the room, that lead the adult in that room, greets them in the way that they say they want to be. That's sex education.
That is beautiful.
Wow, that's sex education.
It's sex education because sex education includes autonomy, boundaries, healthy boundary setting, navigating authority.
Oh, people think sex
People think just sex ed.
Yeah.
Comprehensive sex education includes interpersonal skills. Because if I can't navigate how I want to be touched and what my boundaries are, how can I fuck somebody?
And how are you going to navigate in other areas of your life?
Healthily.
And feel comfortable.
It happens at it's age appropriate. So now I learn autonomy. Then I learn, like, you learn 1 + 1, then you learn 1 × 1, then you learn 1 squared. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You learn the basics, and then they add on to it. It doesn't become about
if
sex.
you don't stop playing with that daggone thing.
She hearing me. If people stop thinking about sex ed as just like sex ed, right? Some sort of insertive, childbearing, STI transmitting situation, and understand that sexuality is bigger than that.
It encompasses so much, and I think that's the problem with our education system. Having a son in high school, and I told you guys earlier, I had this conversation with him earlier today. He's in 9th grade, asking about, well, what do they teach you in sex ed? And to know it's just limited to not procreating and sexually transmitted diseases.
They do a little bit of...
It blows my mind.
I will say this, because I used to teach abstinence-only sex.
What?
I used to teach abstinence only to education. It's part of my mass social work internship. They did.
Did you have handcuffs on? And
I had my degree like this, and I was like, oh, if I could just teach this for a year, I can. So that's all I had as far as sex education internships. That's all that was available, because Texas don't do
this. This is Texas.
But what I thought was, my business brain said, bitch, you finna learn how they teach it, how they convince people that this makes sense. And it makes me a better educator. Now, I cried when I went to training, because the lady that wrote the curricula said tolerance is going to be the death of this country.
Oh. And they really believe that.
And I cried in the shower, bitch, because I was like, this ain't the place for me.
But think about the way that on so many levels, they believe that on so many levels, not just in sexuality.
Correct.
Just with the change of the nation, just being around people who are different than you, in whatever different means to you, whether it's by color, sexuality, language.
Black, and man, because black, I'm going to tell you something that you may or may not agree with. I'm just going to say it anyway.
Say it.
So black people in this country, when we get to talking about gender and identity and orientation, start to sound like white people in this country when they talk about black people.
That's the Venn diagram I always talk to the producer about, the Venn diagram.
And so, not understanding that it's not a choice to have a different orientation. Because what happens is they say, oh, what about the children, right? The children. Why do we trust a kid that's straight to say they're straight, but we don't trust a kid that's not straight to know that they're not straight?
Well, is anybody okay? I'm very sexually fluid, and I've talked about this to my son. So I know that it wasn't a choice for me. I know that I was born wanting to be with women, even though I'm not gay. I just
you're on the spectrum, right?
You're hetero flexible.
I'm hetero flexible. You know, I don't consider, but I don't want to hold your hand in the mall.
Right.
But I do want to blow in your vagina at the house.
Don't do it. You can give a bitch an aneurysm like that. Don't do that.
Sit.
You can give a bitch an aneurysm blowing in their pussy. Don't do it.
How?
Because it's all connected and there's no filter between where the cervix is.
So
you can
the
blow
air go in and I can blow.
If you blow for real and she ain't got the strongest of cervixes, bitch, yes. And depending on where she is in her menstrual cycle, because just the cervix rises and falls inside the vaginal
So you
canal.
mean to tell me if I don't like a bitch, I'd be like, come here, hoe.
Don't do it. That's attempted murder.
Especially since I know now, right? Especially since I know now.
Don't do it.
This far out. But I ain't blowing a vagina in a long time.
Do it.
But my first sexual experience, my first sexual experience was molestation at 5. I pushed, I blacked that out. But my first, willingly consensual experience was with a little girl. Both of us little girls. And then it went on and on to be with little girls. And then I go with boys and girls. So I've been very fluid. Very fluid. Never really there have been times where I picked women. There have been times where I want to call my mom and say, I'm gay. And then
why do you feel like you have to pick?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
But baby, at that time, it was
real good. That's what I was thinking that night. She had my pussy real good that night. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gay. And then, I went home and I was like my nigga called me, what you doing?
No, you're right.
So I really, but I pick whatever makes me happy.
Yeah, so you're fluid. That's exactly what that is. Yeah.
And
I would say I would go as far as to say you are bisexual.
I'm not.
If there's a label.
I am bisexual.
Because you only like men or women, right?
Is there anything else?
Yes.
Dogs?
Girl.
What?
Oh,
no.
Here we go down the rabbit hole. Literally, we gonna go down the rabbit hole.
If they don't identify as a man or a woman.
Like someone androgynous?
Vagina.
Correct. So are you so you might be pansexual like your girl. Okay, so listen. So bisexual means you are attracted to cisgender men, cisgender women.
Okay. And so for people that don't know what cisgendered is, we have to back all the way up because
cisgendered?
Okay, so cisgendered is us. We were assigned female at birth, and we have reproductive organs that are cervix and vagina. Okay, that's what cisgender means. Transgender means I was born one way and I identify as another way. Trans meaning science meaning switched.
Right.
So, if you're a cisgendered person, you identify as the sex that you were assigned at birth. Okay?
Okay.
I think that's a really important baseline to touch on because people, I think, get confused about that all the time because cisgender, I feel like it's a popular term now. And I hear people say, well, what that mean? What does that mean?
Right. Well, they say, no, people say cisgender and then people that don't know what it means get offended.
What's wrong with just saying?
Just saying what?
I'm a woman.
Because
why are you leaning back?
I get it. If that is, they feel a transgender feels like I'm born a woman, but I feel like a man. That's cool. I feel it. But why I gotta be cisgendered? Why can't I just be the woman?
Cisgender is in the absence of transness. So if trans becomes part of the language, then you have to designate who's not trans.
This feels like an algebra test.
So it's a lot to digest.
It exists the antithesis. So like I say, okay, well I'm a trans woman. Okay, well I'm not a trans woman. So every time you guys say, okay, I'm not a trans woman. Every time that happens, you have to say that. Like that's stupid. And my thought process is this because I'm hoping for a sex neutral society at some point. What my hope is this is I can say I'm a woman. And whether I'm a trans woman or a cis woman, it don't fucking matter because I told you I'm a woman.
Right.
That's what it should be. That ain't what it is.
Well, we're evolving.
And there are some people that don't feel like socially because gender is a social construct. There are people that don't feel any one way. They don't feel like a man or a woman or they feel like both.
Remember Toby? So I don't know how old you are.
I'm 42.
Donahue, a long time ago, that talk show Donahue was the
Donahue
first time I
good.
saw a person come on and didn't identify as anything. And their name was Toby.
I remember Toby.
Their name was Toby, and that's the first time I ever saw a person say, and I'm thinking, how do you pee? Like, if you ain't got nothing, but Toby probably had something, but just didn't identify
with it.
Yeah, but
so that's the thing. So if you say every woman.
Shout out to Donahue for that shit.
Okay, man.
Another edition of Dead or Alive. Is he alive or dead?
He's still alive.
Okay. He's sitting there with Dr. Ruth.
Listen, because her ass is like 98.
Okay.
Like she's an OG.
She won for me. But that's just important. Language is important. And I think this speaks to language.
And so what Vita's saying is what I believe is that it's just I'm a man or a woman. If I'm a man of trans experience or a woman of trans experience, what I tell you I was. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? How the fuck did I introduce myself?
Vita.
Then that's what you're gonna go with.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, like, is Goody your name? That's what the government calls me. That's how I pay my taxes. It's my legal name. You know, and it wasn't my born name, but it's my legal name. So that's motherfuckers don't call Jay-Z Sean. You know what I'm saying?
I do in my dreams. Ooh, Sean.
I call him Jay, girl.
Hey, sorry, Beyonce.
No, I'll fuck her. I will fuck Beyonce if I can get to Jay-Z.
I fuck Jay-Z first.
I'm saying if I had to fuck her to get to him, I'd do it.
Well, who wouldn't want to fuck? You fuck Beyonce, you gonna stop.
I don't think so.
What do you think Beyonce's vagina is like? Kind of little. She ain't had too many niggas. But Jay-Z got a Coke bottle dick. He already said it in his rap. He said he got a whole Coke bottle.
And he got a pretty mouth, so I'm here for it.
2 liter.
He got them big old lips.
I'm here for it. He got a pretty mouth too.
So you
and I know my husband's back here in the corner right now, y'all like, but that's my hall pass. Jay-Z is my. If I had a chance to fuck Jay-Z and I didn't, he might be mad.
Bitch, you didn't. Babe,
culture.
you got to fuck Jay-Z for the culture.
Take that shit.
Oh my God.
Listen, I'm not running from it.
Oh.
Here's the thing. Because I'm gonna talk to
Get on Jay-Z's dick, not his nerves.
Listen, happy birthday. December 3rd. Happy birthday. Man. December 4th. December 4th.
Yeah, it's the 4th.
It's the 4th. December 3rd is his mother's birthday.
Oh, she know all it. Oh, wow. Run it down. That really is her hall pass, like, for real.
You a fan. We're going to have a sex party with Beyonce, Jay-Z watching.
Clearly, my fantasies are not big enough.
Listen, I'm less than 2 degrees of separation away. I know some of their producers.
You have big fantasies.
I make
what do you
them
feel
happen.
about polyamory?
I think polyamory is cool for people that it's for.
That is for.
That is for, because I don't believe less than 6% of the population, I think.
That's bullshit, because they cheating.
Yeah, but cheating is different than polyamory. That's 2 different things. I mean,
it's very different because of the transparency.
Exactly.
But there's still not honesty. It's transparency. They're going to be honest, but they're not being transparent. So I'm being honest. I'm fucking other people. Transparency is Louis, Jindy, Mike,
Christy, and we're going out on Wednesday to Hillstone.
You don't need that.
And if you want to go with us, you can. You know what I'm saying?
All you need to know is what I'm doing. You don't know how I'm doing it, right? And so with polyamory, it takes the veil off of what I'm doing.
Because some of the people cheat. Everybody,
monogamy. No, they're not fucking doing it. So calm down.
I mean, is monogamy? It's just another construct, right?
Monogamy is
a construct.
Yes.
I mean, I think the humans,
but it's not for everybody.
Yeah,
monogamy is not for everybody. Polyamory is not for everybody.
There's not one thing that is for everyone.
For me, I am not polyamorous. Okay, when I was pimping. Is the period of time.
Can you rewind that? And how specifically were you pimping? Pimping yourself or pimping bitches?
I was pimping other men. I wasn't even pimping bitches. I don't do my sisters like that. That's my retirement plan though.
Bitch better have my money.
Pimping ain't nothing but human resource management.
Okay, so when you was pimping these niggas.
Yeah, but so back when I was pimping, what I was gonna say, they all knew that they were on a team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just didn't know who else was on the team.
Right. Okay.
And so you don't worry about your team. You want to be the franchise player. You worry about your time on the court.
Right.
Don't be worried about the other motherfuckers.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
And so when I would meet new people, I'm like, look, I like you, but I'm seeing other people, so you have the information you need, right? So there's a transparency there. But you know, and Tazamison, that's my husband. He was like, I ain't worried about that shit. I'm worried about this shit. He's the only one that wasn't worried about none of that other shit.
Pimping.
He was like, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we, you know, and then I was like, and then I'd be with the other ones, and I'm like, nah, Tazama wouldn't have said that shit. And he became my favorite. And I told him he's my favorite. And then we was at a video shoot, and somebody was like, is that your wife? And he was like, not yet. And everybody looked at me, and I'm like, the fuck?
Okay.
So then we started the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But he's cool as shit. Like, he wants to be the Stedman to my Oprah.
I love that. That's important.
But what people forget is that Stedman had money before Oprah. He met her because they was in the same room. You can't be in the same room with Oprah if you ain't got Oprah money.
Hello. I think Stedman fucks other bitches. So,
I'm okay. I think she's okay with it because so does she.
Yeah. I know you don't think. I know you don't think Oprah and Gail get down.
Baby.
I do not think Oprah and Gail eat each other's pussy.
Listen,
I just don't.
I mean, even if they did, it's like, why are people obsessed with these things? Because I really don't give a shit as long as people are happy.
The celebrity
because I
culture,
want a visual.
Celebrity culture means like we expect our celebrities to give us
if it's happening, I want a visual.
I don't want to see. Maybe a close up. Maybe this part. I don't want to see the whole shit.
No, I get off.
But
on
you know what
visualizing
though?
people naked.
But you
That's
know
how
what I think
love
too? I think
seeing
that
people
normalizes
naked.
bodies when you see all kinds of bodies, different ages,
everybody's naked
different
to me.
sizes.
Barack Obama,
You know,
Michelle.
I love that
I visualize
too.
them having sex too. Like I want to know
You
what
sound like a
Michelle, how
little kid.
Michelle like it, like legs in the air. No disrespect to our first lady and president, but I picture Michelle's legs in the air.
Michelle's
I picture
a dom.
her like from the back. And
She's a
I
dom.
picture all of that.
She is a dom.
I feel
in
like
my
Michelle.
head.
You a dom?
No, I'm a sub.
She's a what?
I think Michelle
Oh,
is a
she's
dom.
dominant.
Because you know
She is.
when you in the street, how you present is usually the opposite of
Who you are
in
yeah.
that, right? And so because Barack Obama has to run shit,
Right.
he don't want to have to run
He
shit.
want to get peed on.
And so that's what she's like. She's still running shit, but she ain't running shit like he running shit.
Right.
So she's the sub. So you can still be a boss in that situation, and she's the dom, and she giving him what he needs.
You think she pee on his feet?
I don't know.
I don't.
Maybe she sweared on him. I don't know if she be peeing on people.
And she has a class to teach you how to do that.
She a classy bitch, you know what I'm
to
saying?
give you
I
the
don't know.
tools if you want to learn more about squirting.
About squirting.
Ask Goody. She has the tools for you. Put in your toolkit.
You know, we're right in the middle. We got your information on the bottom, but how did you know that this was your business? Hold on, let me pull it up.
So
pull it.
Well,
how did you know that this was your business?
To be a dildo dealer.
Well, so I think that I've always been a hustler. Like I used to be the candy lady. I used to like in college. I taught myself how to braid so I could do hair.
Mm-hmm.
I never went to Kappa Beach because I was doing everybody hair for Kappa Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to do all kinds of shit, write papers, people, all kinds of shit. I've always been a
Just
hustler.
resourceful as fuck.
Like I monetize my skill set, and I've always done well in school. And school was the only place that I got positive reinforcement from adults.
Okay.
Right?
Ooh, that is deep. Pause. We're not going to just gloss over that. Because that's a very deep statement because I think that touches a lot of people in our age group and younger and all over.
I mean, my parents would show up for me when I achieved academically or something was going on with school with my name on it.
Right.
So I thrived for that because at home I had to take care of everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Are you the oldest? What's your birth order?
I'm the oldest, but my daddy has a daughter with somebody else and she's older than me.
Okay.
No, that's my sister. Like we gang,
Okay,
but I'm
so
just saying.
you did not say that like
Yeah,
that's
no,
your
she's
sister.
up. I mean, because I was the oldest all my life, and then here she comes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But we cool. She gang. You know what I'm saying? I just was trying to give her the. She said birth order, and since my parents have the same, and we got a different mama. Then
Okay.
you know.
But I just didn't want to gloss over the fact that you felt like the only place that you got that positive
Shine.
reinforcement shine was in an academic setting.
Absolutely, and I loved it, and I thrive in it. And it's easy to me, and it makes me happy. So you know that kind of shit. So I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. Before I did this full time, I did accounting. So like I am.
You done did everything. You a Jane of all trades.
Yes.
Jack.
Yeah, I'm a little jack in there. I'm a little jack
It's a
in
little
there.
jack in
I feel
there.
like I see your penis, you know, metaphorically
BDE.
speaking.
BDE on the show.
You have a large penis,
I do.
Goody.
It be swinging. I be
Well, have you
swinging.
ever strapped on?
No, and I want to, but I can't because he said no.
Cause you're. But how would you look at your husband if you did?
Not on him.
Oh.
That's why he said no. We don't do that.
I cannot with you, and you should have saw the way he looked at the back of your head.
No. I don't. So that's one thing that I love about my partner. Is that we're not into the same things. We're not into the shit we into, the shit we not into, we both not into. And so he not into butt stuff, I'm not into butt stuff. We great.
Y'all not in the butt
That's
stuff?
not my thing.
I feel like we were supposed to be talking about something else when we got in the butt stuff.
We talked.
How do we switch
You
to
asked me
butt?
how I knew this was my destiny. So I was
Okay.
always a hustler, and
Okay.
I've always been the freaky friend because of the way I grew up in a sex positive household and things like that. And my back in the day with microfiche and Dewey Decimal, if someone asked me a question and I didn't know, I'd look it up.
Dewey Decimal. So you were a library girl.
Microfiche. Is
I
that
I know
thing in
the
the computer?
I know the Dewey Decimal real good. I
Yes.
spent a lot of time in the library. That was
So
my
I used to
escape.
always, if people ask me a question I didn't know because I'm older than the internet, then I'm going to look at my encyclopedias. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the library.
Yes.
So
project.
correct. So I would do that, and so it just kind of layered. And then in college we was going to the same ladies' toy parties, and you throw a party and the same lady do it, and you throw a party and the same lady do it.
Toy parties in college?
Oh yes. And so
So she really is. She's the freakiest of the freaky friends.
never-
well,
been to a toy
and so no, we were. I mean, it was other people's parties. We might have been like we were 23, 24, like on the end of college. And so the lady, I would ask questions and stuff, and she was like, the questions you're asking, you need to be doing this. Like, you could. And I was like, I don't like sales and I don't like people.
Was that here in Texas?
I don't like
Here,
people.
yeah, it was here.
Wow.
And so,
Excuse me.
Good job. Good job.
so she was like, I was like, but I have a party for you. So I did a party for her. You know, back in the day, you get a kickback versus how much sales you get and everything. So she's like, you made this much money. And we having a sale on kits right now, and I put $75 of my own dollars with this money right here and get you a kit. And this black
What came in the kit?
it was like, you know, you get the starter dildos, like the stuff, the demo, like
And
the bullet, and the.
That's crazy.
It's like Mary Kay for dildos.
So to me, it just sounds so ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know this existed back in my.
This was like 06.
Yeah, I wish I would have known.
Yeah, this is like 06. So I did it. I was like, and this a black woman, and she's willing to invest her own money in me.
What?
Her name is my shit done kicked in now.
No, that's all right.
Ooh.
Okay, but yeah, she's Danae, and she is we're still Facebook friends and everything, but she don't do the work no more. And so what I got into it, and I started like. It's like Mary Kay for dildos, so I had to differentiate myself from the other people doing what I do. So I started doing little position tips and little blowjob tricks, and people was like, I would pay for this without the toys. So I was like, ding! So I started fleshing out workshops. So you could book me for a party, or you could book me for a workshop, and I upsell my toys on the workshop. You know what I'm saying? And if you do the online workshop, you get the replay and like all these things.
At this time, were you in college for business already, or you were just?
I was
born
in college
this way?
for business. I was born this way.
You were built like this.
This is just what it was.
Yeah. Lady Gaga.
You know, both. It's all of them.
born this way.
You know, they can both get it. So, so yes, I've always been a hustler. So my business degree is what I went for. I was at University of Houston main campus in the Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, and they only let 50 students in every other year. And one year I got pregnant. I got in, but I got pregnant, and they let me start over, and my baby was with me in the class.
Oh, wow.
He's 18 now. He's a senior in high school now. That's how
That
long
blows
that
my
was.
mind. That's so progressive, right? When we think
Yes.
about progressive and women being able to accomplish their dreams, because imagine if they didn't give you that grace. And a lot of women don't get that.
But the tenacity, because I came back and asked to be put back,
Absolutely.
and I was on my shit like that. And I was walking, at that time, the idea that I was walking through the program was like a massage, black care, beauty, self-care, black beauty, goddess salon type shit. That's the idea I was walking through. I wasn't even walking through sex toys because I wasn't doing it yet. And so I just kind of layered that with that. And then so then I was doing sex toys and stuff, and I found that there were conferences and shit for this. So I go to a conference, and I meet all these amazing women, and I found the Women of Color Sexual Health Network. It's a group on Facebook. These are black and brown women paying their grown lady bills doing this work.
Do they all have to have a degree?
No.
This is the work
So
you
that's
need
what
to
I
do.
was- yeah,
This
I
is a
was
very
gonna ask you a
certification
question.
driven.
So
Yes.
I feel like your next step is teaching women how to do what you do.
I will be teaching. Yes, I teach now. There are several like institutes and things around the country that can certify people to be sex educators, etc. I'm faculty at a few of those.
Because I really want to get into like, question. How did you know when you suck good dick? How did you know you was a
They
good dick
tell you.
sucker?
Motherfuckers act a fool and
What,
come
so
back
what,
and be
what
like,
was it that you did that somebody came back and said, damn?
I feel like it was the confidence because I enjoy sucking dick.
And then I also think too, you have a different technique. With each dick that you have.
like, and this might sound weird, but it's my story, so let me tell it. It's
Tell
not,
it, girl.
it's not
Tell it.
yours, okay?
Tell it.
But when I was sexually assaulted at 5, I was sucking my babysitter brother's dick. So
That ain't your first choice.
no, but it made me a good dick sucker.
Okay.
It's my story.
Okay.
It is. Like, it's weird. Like now, because when I see that dick, I'll either suck it real good or bite it. Not in a bad way.
Yeah, I know.
But in my
I hear
head,
it, yeah.
like, you know, I'm processing, like, you know, I
There's
don't know
still-
how many times
Yeah.
I done put my babysitter's brother's dick on other niggas, you know, and want to just like, "Arr!" you know, but I have this takeover mentality when it comes to oral sex. So I like don't suck dick for men. So when you a man and you want me to suck your dick, I don't want to suck your dick.
I want to do what I want to do.
I want to do what I want to do because I'm taking my power back with the dick sucking.
Absolutely.
So it's almost like when I'm able to do it and it's all my idea, I go ham. I'm like, you can leave your dick here with me.
Like, we'll see.
And I'll call you when I'm done. And you can come get your dick. Come pick your dick up about 8:30, 8:45. You know what I'm saying? If I'm running over, I'll call you.
Right.
You know, but I just started doing it for myself.
That's good though.
You know, I took my power back.
Yeah.
I took my power back.
That's
what it was. I took my power back. I no longer feel like the 5-year-old girl that was getting taken advantage of. I feel like the grown woman is like, bitch, you gonna give me this dick, nigga.
You feel empowered.
I want to. I took my power back.
Absolutely.
Now the drug use that came from that's another story.
That's separate. That's separate. And I'm so proud of you, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that when you came out the room. I was like, I'm so proud. I feel like I know you, but I don't.
You do.
I do, but I know you, but you don't know me. That's what it is.
Well,
we're about to change all of that.
Spirits.
We're gonna change all that.
I feel like I've known you forever, sitting down here and talking to you.
We've met before.
But this is like, for me, this is like a full circle, because this is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to talk about. I'm very sexual.
Yeah.
So
but the things that you're asking me are very much the question that you asked me about the freakiness. Like, that is integral in the thought process that you needed to even be able to ask that question. Is integral to be able to be successful in this work. So, I mean, we can have a separate conversation about what that looks like for you and what your focuses are, what you want to do. I feel like
okay, let me just tell you this vision real quick. And if any one of you motherfuckers take this vision, I'm gonna run up on you and fuck you up. So, you know how they have like boss brunches and brunches? I was thinking of a birds and bees brunch.
Okay.
Where women can get dressed nice, grab their kids, get them dressed nice, and we talk to their kids about sex. Because everybody doesn't know how to talk to their child about sex. That is one of the most taboo things to ever do. Like, so I don't remember my mom and dad talking to me about sex. I really don't. If they did, and I guess it wasn't very impactful. And like you said earlier, you said it's not a talk. It is a constant.
It's an ongoing culture. It's a culture that you create in your home.
Yes,
absolutely.
You don't just have the birds and bees. You daily. So absolutely. I'll never forget during the pandemic. Well, before this goes before the pandemic, I dropped my son and his friends off to the movie theater. I go to pick him up, and one of the kids told another kid to smell my finger. So I automatically was like,
Spidey senses went up.
Smell my finger.
Spidey senses.
I said, you done fingered somebody in the movie theater, and they bust out laughing, right? Because they're not used to somebody, an adult.
You're not supposed to know.
About,
you know about this.
You fingered somebody in the movie theater. So, boom, 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 boom. The conversation started going. So, yes, they admitted to that. Then, one of the young men admitted to getting his penis sucked in the movie theater and said it was by surprise. He said, Miss Vita, I didn't know it was going to happen.
Do he even know who did it?
No, it wasn't by surprise as like, surprise, bitch.
He didn't know she was
going to do that. Yeah. So he's telling me that he felt really comfortable sharing that with you. He's telling me that it really startled him. It really took him by surprise. He didn't know how to take it. It just happened, and he was like, "Whoa!" Right? So. This is okay. I'm like digesting. I don't judge any of them because I want them to continue to talk to me. So I don't say that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. Don't do that no more. I'm not taking you back to the movies. Yeah. It's in my head, but I didn't say it out loud. Yeah. It said out loud. So when the pandemic hit, oh God, too much time on your hands, right? So I go in the room and I'm talking to the boys, and then they end up telling me about when they got their first time getting their, my son told me the first time he get endings. I'm like, you got to think that. And then so for some reason, I think it was the Tito's, but so I was like, the first thing in my head was, well, did you eat a pussy? And I was like, did I just say that to my son? Did you eat a pussy? But if your kids are getting their dick sucked, they can hear
you wanted equity in that situation.
They can hear you say, did you eat a pussy? And he was like, no. And I was like, automatically like,
offended a little more, you right?
Yeah, I
You wanted equity for that. You wanted, you know what? Reciprocity. That's the word.
Right,
Reciprocity.
I'm a woman. So, but then I thought about it, and I said, well, no, take your time because bitch, I don't need your ass sprung like that. You know?
They wiping back and front. These are you can't be.
Oh my God!
Take
Say
your time.
that
Take your
again.
time.
The cleanliness and the hygiene factor.
They don't know. They just let them go.
But I appreciate because we had a conversation earlier just about you saying that it is very important for you to speak about sex to your kids freely
and frequently.
When I first started wearing my vagina shirts, because I wanted to be able for my son and me to just talk and say vagina and penis and whatever. You know what I'm saying? And the shirt came out before we even really had the conversations. The shirt came out, and then it enabled me to speak about it more because he's watching it and he's looking at it, and it opened the door for me. My parents didn't talk to me about sex. Yeah. And it wasn't, and if it did, it would have been that one day, that birds and bees, that one day. And then I'm done.
That's so not effective.
I got taught the mechanics of sex. I didn't get taught about the social impacts of sex. I didn't get talked about getting called fast and whatever. I never got any of that part. I just got the mechanics. My mom taught me about menstruation when I was 9. Every time she went to the store to buy pads, she'd buy me some too. So I got a closet full of pads, okay? When I'm 10 and a half, I start my period. Now, she's already shown me what...
Wait a minute, she was buying pads before...
Like, it was like a baby shower, like diapers or something.
That was like World
Yeah, she was like, she wanted to make sure I was ready, right? So she taught me about what to do.
She was a doomsday prepper.
So I did them, she just made sure I had, so every time she bought something, she bought me some. So when my period finally did come, she had already told me what the fuck to do, so I just been doing it, right? So now I'm 12. This is how many pads she done bought me. Now I'm 12.
Still got the same.
I'm out of pads finally, right? And so I was like, hey, can you get me some pads when you go to the store? She was like, you don't even start your period yet. And I was like, girl, I'm bleeding right now. I need pads. We out.
Wait. You never had the conversation when
No,
you
she taught
bleeding?
me. No.
But when it happened, you guys didn't have that conversation.
Because she had already told me what to do. I didn't know I needed a press conference.
But why didn't you feel like you just wouldn't? That's a special thing, like Mom.
I didn't know it was special. It was mechanical as fuck. She taught me about it. Like, this is what you do when this happens. This is what you do.
She didn't realize.
So I was like, all right, this is happening. This is what I'm doing. She prepared me for success. This is what I'm supposed to do. I knew what to do. So what the fuck I'm gonna make a I got all the supplies.
Goody strikes me as very practical.
I have all the supplies.
She's a practical person.
And you taught me what to do, and it's here, and I'm doing it. I'm making you proud because I'm doing what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Ain't no blood nowhere.
I'm gonna move this mic away because when my period came on.
Nobody told you? Nobody said nothing about it?
Not until it came.
See, and my mom had, because she gave me so much earlier, I knew what the fuck to do.
You just felt prepared.
Yeah, so I didn't need to have no announcement.
You're prepared.
And so I think about that day because my son is 18 and he is in love now. And I don't know if he's
first time in love? First time?
Like this, yes. And so I don't know what they're doing, right? But I do know that I was getting ready to take him to the movies. He came out with a jacket and she came out in a skirt, and I was like, "You got some condoms?" Because they was going to the movie theater.
Oh, you gonna put the jacket on?
And, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, nope. But I do know he's done mouth stuff because he's told me. But I don't know if he's actually having sex or not.
Okay, never mind.
Because
mouth stuff.
Because I told him the rule is go to all your classes and keep your dick in your pants. Don't pull your dick out at school. That was the rule. Right. Don't pull your dick out at school.
They're not at school.
I don't give a fuck. If you go to her house when I don't know, don't pull your dick out at school because now you're a sex offender.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
The legality of it all.
So don't pull your dick out at school. And he was like, telling me about this little girl that liked him. He was in the 6th grade. She was in the 8th grade. And I was like, nope. Nope. And so he was like, she was in the bathroom with me. She came in the bathroom because ain't no cameras in the bathroom. And
what?
So yeah,
God.
so we've had those kinds of conversations. And so I know that he's given and received head. Okay, that's all I know. If he's actually having sex, I don't know. I have prepared him for success. He's been masturbating with condoms on since he was 12 years old.
Don't understand that, but go ahead.
So masturbating with a condom on. If you have a penis, you need to be masturbating with a condom on. Because
as a child,
from whenever you start masturbating, if you're preparing your child for success, right?
In this world,
if they're masturbating with a condom on, if you masturbate with a condom on, right, it helps you get skill building. You get good at putting the condom on. Okay. You also start to equate pleasure and condom use. Because everybody like, it don't feel good. It don't feel the same.
Okay.
So you start to equate
skill building.
Yeah, skill building, pleasure association, and quicker cleanup. The third reason is quicker cleanup because you know where all your washcloths and socks are.
Hello.
Ain't no toilet paper piled up, just all the napkins in the trash.
It's all crunchy.
Sheets like this.
Right. Don't nobody want to deal with that.
So, but it helps them. It just prepares them for success. So
I never thought about that.
Think about it like this. My daughter is in first grade, so she started kindergarten in the pandemic. All she knows is wearing a mask to school.
Yes.
That's all she know. My son was struggling like a motherfucker last year wearing a mask all day. He was like, "This is stupid.
Yeah.
I want to breathe." Listen, so he's having trouble because he never used.
Right.
But that's all she knows.
Yeah.
So if you masturbating with a condom on, that's all you know.
And you gonna
so
make
it makes sense to you,
good.
and it's gonna feel good to you. So you're not missing shit because you don't know what it's like without it.
Ooh, that's.
But then what about when you find your person, and then it's time to? Okay, I guess it'll be all right. It's gonna be like a whole, like Disney World.
Girl, you took the soul out of my heart. You took the soul out of my heart.
It's gonna be like Disney World.
But if they use the right kind of condoms, like if they use lifestyle skin condoms, it's like a super thin. You can feel the ridges and the warmth, and like when I used to use latex condom, I was popping them hoes. I ain't popped the skin yet. And I'm really trying to get them to give me a check.
When
they need
you
to give me a
They do because this is free advertising.
What do you mean?
Because like if you put the condom on, right, you're supposed to. And
leave some at the top. Yeah.
You leave some air at the tip and then roll it down, right? But if you're bouncing, if you hitting too rough and doing too many things, if you're like, if you rocking and kegling and bouncing and popping, it's gonna push that air. It's gonna pop the condom.
And you don't
if you're a rough rider, it's gonna happen that way.
You're a rough rider?
Occasionally.
Oh, okay.
Been known to rough ride.
Because she
do you film any of your sex acts?
I don't film sex with
for
partners.
Personal.
I don't film sex with partners. I do film myself masturbating for myself.
Why?
Because I don't see in porn. I don't see pussy that look like mine.
That is interesting and that's
What?
amazing. And I think that would help too.
You don't see black pussy, or what? Don't you see?
I just don't like the clits be little and you know.
Do you mind explaining what your pussy looks like?
I have a big clit.
Okay. I have a story.
What is this story? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna drink to that.
So, when I was about 8 years old, remember I told you I turned very sexual after, my molestation. So when I was about eight, I started masturbating with electric toothbrush, right? And this is the old school electric toothbrush where you put the whole toothbrush is this big, and then you put it on top, right? And this thing so here go the base, and here go the little plastic thing. And they go, no, right? The plastic thing that you put the toothbrush on, right? So this thing, no. I would masturbate with that thing because it's gyrating in my vagina, right? I'm very young. So I remember, I swear to God, I'll never forget this one time. I'd be in the bathroom for like 25, 30 minutes with the water on. With the water on, or like, whatever. I'll never forget one time I'm in there and my dad come, he knocked, Vita, what are you doing? And I'm like, brushing my teeth. I'm brushing my teeth. So this plastic thing though, one day cut my vagina lips.
Oh my God.
So imagine you got these two lips, right? This is one side and this is the other side. So it did this. And I was in so much pain and agony. I couldn't walk. When I peed, my whole body was on fire.
God, I bet. Shit.
But I wouldn't tell anybody because what I was doing. So I felt really bad and ashamed.
And you feel like it's like punishment for doing some
so I never said anything, right? So now as it healed,
I see what you're saying.
So now it's just like this, right? It's like, this is this bottom part and this top part never attached. So here it is, just like this, right? So it's like, it's almost like I have this little dick.
Okay, I can see how. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I mean? Like I've literally had niggas eat my pussy and like sucking my Like, and then I be like, niggas, you sucking a dick or my, like, but they don't know what it is, and they be like, it's your clit, right? But it's not. It's just me. So, and it's crazy because it's like, you know, I have a raggedy vagina, but I did it to myself.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
I did that.
Are you judging yourself?
Yeah.
Stop it.
I need her to finish the sentence before I can decide if it's
because usually when they be like, when a dude be like, I ain't gonna lie to you, me and my ex, the last argument we got into, he was like, with your raggedy vagina.
I cannot with you in this whole, you know what?
He was like, with your raggedy vagina. And I was like, at least I'm the one that ragged it out.
But what does that mean, Vita?
What do you mean?
What does ragged it out mean?
The way it looks to me.
You said it's your fault. Why is it your fault?
Because I'm the one that cut it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the one that sliced my vagina.
But really, honestly, all pussies look different, and I don't see there's an aesthetic in porn.
I bet you there's no pussy that looks like
but that's okay.
But you would never
that's
know, and then you're a snowflake out here, bitch. I mean,
that's your signature look.
You got a snowflake pussy.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm a snowflake.
Let's be real.
But so I created Volvember. The month of November, I decided it was Volvember.
That's my birthday month.
3 years ago.
What does that mean?
Volvember is a celebration of all things vulva. Art, poetry, prose, science, whole shit, all of it, right? Science and Whole Shit is the name of my book, by the way.
I love that. I love that.
Again?
Science and Whole Shit. I own scienceandwholeshit.com too. The book is not finished. Ain't nothing on the website.
Science and Whole Shit.
But yes, Science and Whole
How
Shit.
did you come up with that?
Because I'm always talking about science and whole shit. I explain pleasure. I explain pleasure using science.
But is that really whole shit?
Yes. It's like I said, the conceptual layman's term.
Okay, conceptual layman's.
But,
okay, got you.
But the way I have it written in the logo is the periodic table. Science is written in lipstick, and whole shit is written in the periodic table.
I like that.
I love it.
And it's hoe is on one tile, and then it's sexual health intervention techniques or tools or something. That's what shit stands for. So it's an acronym. Yeah. But yes, science and whole shit. Because I talk about squirting. I talk about pleasure. I talk about what squirt is made of.
I talk about so I need to like.
This conversation is a 7-part conversation. I already see it in my head right now.
I keep hearing squirting, and I'm just like,
because you were like, is it pee? Okay.
Squirting is not pee.
It's not pee. So we're going to get into this, okay? So every woman that was assigned female at birth has the physical capability to squirt.
I don't believe it.
Yes. Think about it like this. We all have abdominal muscles, but we don't all have six packs.
Right.
Hello.
So we have the physical capability to have six packs, but we don't.
But we don't.
Right.
Bitches and oxtails.
Because we could,
and chitlins.
but we don't. So it takes intention and focus, just like squirting. We have it in there.
And you teach that class?
I do.
Go to her website. Go to her IG. Go ahead.
Ask Goody. I'm Ask Goody on everything. AskGoody.
How does somebody book you? Well, fuck that shit. I'm already booked.
Like, hold on. Let me tell you about squirting though, because we gotta finish. Because we squirrel over here. Listen. Squirting, right? So the reason it feels like pee is because it comes from the same hole. It uses the same muscle groups. Comes from the same part of the body. Okay. So what it is it's the excessive water from the bladder, because the bladder does not hold urine. The bladder holds excess water from the body. It does not become urine until it mixes with the impurities from the kidneys. So bladder, kidneys, urethra, piss. Bladder, Skene's gland, urethra is squirt. And the Skene's gland is the female prostate. And it mixes with the prostatic fluid. The water mixes with the prostatic fluid and it comes out the urethra. The reason it feels like it's pee is because it's the same part of the body, muscle groups, pelvic floor, all that. And just like a penis can come and pee from the same hole, so can a vagina.
I'm getting aroused right now.
So let me ask you, when a man, because I know men to be like, shit, I made that bitch squirt. Is the man making her squirt, or is it her making her squirt?
It's her, because she can do it with or without him.
Bitches.
But the thing is this, your orgasm is your responsibility, so it could be a little bit of both. But squirting is the woman recognizing, the person being inserted recognizing that they've had that sensation. So the key term to figure out if it's squirt versus piss, right? That's what everybody want to know.
Yes.
If you're aroused and you're engaged in the sex that you're having,
Dick's in you.
And you feel, not even dissing, I mean, even because they could be eating pussy and you're going to squirt in them. It just depends.
Okay.
It just depends because it's all clitoral.
Like
okay? So listen, if you're having sex that you enjoy and you're engaged in the pleasure and you're connected to it and you feel like you got to pee, relax and let it go. That's squirt.
I feel like Dana's going to squirt now.
Well, so the science and whole shit is as physically...
Did you see it in my face? Did you hear that deep breath?
The science and whole shit of it all is that it's physiologically impossible for an aroused human to urinate.
Don't give that to me. I'm just going to buy one after we're done here.
So you can't, if you're aroused, you can't urinate without excruciating pain, and we call that sexual incontinence.
Really?
So
wait a minute. If I'm aroused and I gotta pee,
it's not pee. No, if you are aroused and you feel like you have to pee, that's a squirting orgasm. That's not pee.
Oh Lord, help me, Jesus. Oh,
Just like people with penises, they have an erection to pee with and an erection to fuck with. Our clitoris gets hard for us to pee, and our clitoris gets hard for us to have sex. Mm-hmm. So a clitoral erection and a urinary erection, a sexual erection and a urinary erection.
I really hope that people are listening and rewind this, because some of y'all might need to play this back.
Let me ask you this: if I do a bunch of sit-ups, will it be easier for me to squirt?
Yes.
Bitch,
it's core and pelvic floor.
Don't get on the floor right now, Vinny. No, man.
Squats, crunches, lunges, all the anything that works the bottom, upper, the butt, and inner upper thigh, and the lower stomach. All of that's connected.
Vita, no, man.
But
bitch, I'm trying to squirt.
You trying to get in shape right now?
Okay, so here's another thing about squirting: you have to be properly hydrated. Because you cannot squirt dust.
Can I get a
okay?
Can you squirt Tito?
No. Alcohol dries you out. So even if you
say that again,
alcohol dries you out. That's why I don't drink. Alcohol dries you out. Ultimately, I'm saying alcohol makes your pussy dry.
What about drinking with coconut water?
Say that again.
Alcohol makes your pussy dry.
I'm done drinking.
Now listen. I'm not gonna say that it's not gonna get wet. What I'm saying is it'll be wetter if you didn't drink.
Okay.
I guess back.
Right.
I get it.
And so when you have you have to consume half your body weight ounces in water per day.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you're doing that, then you're properly hydrated. And if you're properly hydrated, your muscles are functioning at peak levels. So when you have something, then you'll have something to squirt, and your orgasms will be stronger because orgasms are muscular contractions. And when muscles are properly hydrated, they contract more strongly. So now your orgasm went from this to this.
I'm totally.
It's science and whole shit. But I will say this. It's a science and house shit. But what I'm saying is also you have to be engaged, right? So if it's sex that you're enjoying and you're into it and you feel like you got to pee, that's squirt. Now if it's 10 o'clock and you've been in bed since 10:30 and here he come trying to get some, you just trying to go to bed and pee, so you gonna go on and give it up. That might be pee. If you
get your life together,
that might be pee, sis. Hold that. Because you're just trying to keep the peace. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hold that one.
Right. But if you into it,
but if you're into it and you engage in that shit, then it's and if you pee, if you let it go and it hurts, that's sexual incontinence. You can't. It's physiologically
incontinence is pee that slips out.
Yeah, basically. When you
I'm gonna switch gears really quick, right before we get to the end of this. Are you a voter?
Yes.
And how long have you been voting?
Since I was 20.
Okay, so you've been a long time voter. How did you get engaged in the voting process? What made you think that it was important?
I used to work the polls as a teenager in high school.
Woo!
Like counting the ballots at City Hall.
Really?
Yeah. And
wrong poll. I'm not interested.
Right? Thick Thursdays.
I literally have been thinking about hoes to the polls or whatever you talking about.
Hell yeah.
Hoes to the polls.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
Yeah, for real.
I'm down for that. But I think it's important. My dad was always very mindful of us being aware of what's going on socially as black people and everything. And so it's always been a part of who I am. And just working the polls and stuff, and I was like the only brown face at the polls, and I was like, see, this is why. This is why. I don't even know what's happening, but there's too many of them. That's never a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was, and I was a teenager then, so I was always very active and shit like that. And so it just kind of became who I am. Like I Google them. I mean, I see black girls, I be excited, but bitch, I'm gonna Google you.
Let me see what your record is.
Yeah, I need to see what you're about.
So you're from North Texas. What county do you live in? Are you in Dallas County? Okay. Have you early voted at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Because I was out of town that week. It was sex week at Tulane.
So I just because she was working out of town. So
wait a minute, where were you?
Tulane.
What is that?
It's a college in New Orleans.
And you was doing what?
Sex week.
What is that?
It's it's something that Tulane does, and it's a sex health week that they talk about different things all week long at the college. Every campus has one. UTA just had theirs.
Wow, I
come do things.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's good too, I think, especially when you're in college, because everybody's going buck wild, like you said earlier. You're away from home, you on your own, you going buck. It's good that you're just kind of checking with yourself and your sexuality and your sexual health.
They come to me like I'm the cool auntie vibe. I got a cool auntie vibe. Like I'm not too old yet. I'm still cool, right?
But you still cool no matter what.
But they see me and they resonate with me because it's a white school. So I was the Black Queer Coalition booked me. So they saw me and they were like, oh my God, it's a black lady. And I'm queer.
Of course you are.
And she had a t-shirt about
I'm queer. I'm pansexual.
Oh.
Yeah.
So do you and your husband have sex with women?
No. It's just me and him.
Oh, but before that,
yes.
It was, so that's like me.
Monogamy is a choice.
Monogamy is like eating McDonald's every day. Fuck that shit.
What?
I wouldn't go that far.
So?
I think
hold on. monogamy is the same person every day, right?
Yeah.
That's like going to McDonald's every day.
It's like doing anything every day.
That's like going to McDonald's.
But what if your husband's a whole gourmet meal?
It's also like going to Starbucks every day. Or going to the gym every day. It's still the same shit every day.
That's like going to Nick and Sam's. That's like going to Del Frisco's every day. It's like eating the same thing every day. Every day.
It was just the McDonald's option. It just
it felt real cheap.
It felt cheap.
It felt fucked up.
It was giving me disrespect. It was giving me disrespect.
It was like, why? Okay, so it's like
why gotta be
eating at three.
Just a fourth. A Michelin star every fucking day.
I don't believe that the human body is wired to do something every day like that.
I said, I think it's a choice. I absolutely. I don't think that I think monogamy is a social construct. I don't think that we were monogamous in general.
I feel like every sexual category is that way.
It's a choice that I've made.
So, but before you got married, then it was
out of there.
Okay.
This is my second marriage, though.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, for the period of time from divorce to my practice divorce.
Your practice divorce.
From my husband to my husband.
Practice marriage.
Yeah. From that was pimping. That was a good 9.5 years.
That was...
It's fun time. Twitter Airlines. It's back when it was safe to fly when the motherfuckers. Now they be trying to traffic your ass. Back when you could slide in the DM. The screenshots wasn't really a thing yet.
Girl, man. We've covered so much. Yeah. We've covered so much.
You taught us a lot.
You did.
Yeah.
You really are an educator. You really do bring so many topics to the forefront from how to talk to our children, to our high school students, college students, and adults.
To each other.
Hello.
We got to rewrite that script too.
Yeah, because I really want to, if we ever are able to book you again, I really want to get into intimacy. Intimacy is going, for me.
Oh, I'm going to take her class. So I'm going to put this out right here, right now. Get on the lookout for me, because I'm about to take the class from Miss Goody. And
I'm going to have to do a little Instagram video too, a little review just on your page talking about how much you've learned. Yeah, because I know a lot of people that have said her classes are the shit.
I want my classes to focus on dick sucking.
Okay.
Like just...
I have a dick sucking class.
Yeah.
It's called lick. So, steak and blowjob day. I know you know it's a thing.
Wait.
What?
Time out. Pause. You don't know that she said that you could have an orgasm from sucking dick.
Oh, no, I do.
Do you have those?
No, dick sucking makes me feel so good.
Do you have those?
When the better I suck your dick, the wetter my pussy gets.
Right. Yeah. But some people don't know that.
Yeah.
Some people don't know that. That's why.
Because that's you sucking dick for him.
Yeah,
you got to figure out a way to suck dick for you.
The way I reframe my classes is for the pleasure of the giver.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
You have to be the one that's loving it before you can actually get into it.
They're a byproduct.
Yeah, that's why I was like, drop your dick. My class gonna be called "Drop Your Dick Off."
Oh.
But the thing is, too, I think that as women, we always center our pleasure around men. Women center our pleasure around men. I feel like we don't really center our pleasure around ourselves. And as we move forward in time, that is something that women are doing more, and it's so controversial. Because I am about centering my pleasure around me. And I feel like it's hard for people to accept that.
Well, that's because we're trained and socialized to maintain our sex for the pleasure of our partners, not for ourselves. Right? From the minute they say it's a girl,
drop your dick off.
Hallelujah.
From the minute they say it's a girl,
hallelujah.
We're trained. Regardless of what your orientation is and what you like. You get baby dolls, you get a cook kitchen, you're taught to care, not care for, but care for.
Exactly.
And so that's what that looks like. And so even the conversation around non-sexual pleasure, when we start to prioritize pleasure, we become better partners, we become better parents, we become better human beings.
I really feel like the relationship with my son got better when we started talking about sex and just start being open. Like I told him that I've been with women. You know what I'm saying? I've told him, your mom used to play for both teams. You can
play on all the teams. Yeah. She was an at-large player. She didn't have no team. She practiced teams on everybody.
Your mom's MVP All-Star.
She's on the roster. But I felt like it just made things fluid, and it opened up the door for him to say things to me that, It
opens the door for other things. Like that's a very intimate part of yourself and your livelihood, like you're living your entity, right? So then when you share that with someone else, it's like, I feel closer to you. If I can trust you with that, of course I can trust you with this, and I can trust you with this. So then you're talking about life decisions and, all the things that you thought they were telling you that they wasn't really telling you. They were telling you a piece of, so they can keep, you get into that. Yeah. And I really feel like sex is the gateway for that for a lot of people.
Sex is the gateway to everything.
Oscar Wilde has a quote that says, everything in the world is about sex except sex. Sex is about power.
I totally agree with that.
On that.
Absolutely. And I was going to say one more time before we go, tell them your IG, tell them your website, just plug and let these people know where to find you.
Okay.
Because this is important because it'll make you relax in other areas of your life.
For real. Sex positivity is the first step to liberation.
There we go.
But yeah, so my name is Goody Howard. I am Ask Goody because everybody asks Goody, right? So I'm AskGoody on all social media platforms. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, even though I don't snap nor chat, but I got it.
Mm-hmm. Me either.
Facebook, Pinterest. If I didn't want nobody else misrepresent my brand on a different platform, so I went and got my name, even though I wasn't going to use it.
That's that business. See that business?
That's
doing work?
That's
see
that
And then I'm at AskGoody.com where the toys and all that stuff. And if you use code SNP, the letters S, N, and P, you'll get 15% off anything you get on the site because science and politics.
Science and politics.
15% off everything on the store that does not include live events, but it includes the sex toys, the goody gear, which is the merchandise, and the replays.
To get on that dick and on his nerves.
To get on the dick and on the nerves. The letter SNP.
I love it.
For 15% off.
We appreciate you,
SNP. Thank you so much, Goody.
Saving the world, one credit at a time.
Yes.
Or one dick at a time.
The clitoris means like goddess or some shit. It's like it's like Latin,
of
like
course,
goddess or something.
Yeah.
So yes,
saving the world, one vagina at a time.
I love it. Thank y'all for watching, tuning in. Make sure you're back next week. Y'all have a good night and stay safe. Okay?
No. Get on a dick tonight.
on that dick
and
tonight.
Don't be safe.
R.I.P.
No, be safe.
Break a dick tonight.
Be safe at all costs. Don't listen to me on that.
Don't break it.
Do whatever you want to do, but be safe whatever you're doing.
Don't break it. Fuck it up for everybody else.